T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone! Welcome to another review from T-Man 978.
The 25th anniversary G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero G.I. Joe set. Featuring Roadblock, Duke, Snake Eyes, Gung Ho, and Scarlet. They all came in a package that looked like this. It's so shiny it can barely get on screen. If you open it, you can see their little character images right here and with their little descriptions of what their jobs are. And we have this. It was stored in a shitty area, so it looks all yellow and nasty. If you press this button right here, we get this theme song. G.I. Joe will dare. It's the short version. I have never removed this, so I have no clue what's in the back. I don't want to touch it. Here's the artwork on the back of the packaging. Being nice, they included these character cards, which is made out of a thick cardstock. Read it. Pause it and read it, I mean. Uh-huh. Yeah. And yeah. Black on the back. Because I piqued my own interest, this is all that's on the back. It is 3 AAA batteries in here. These batteries have been in here for over 12 years and they still work. There is no like test mode or whatever that makes the song longer. You just get the 15-second one and you can turn it off. Yay for off buttons. Anyway, I'm going to start with Roadblock. I believe him to be the weakest, unfortunately for him. As you can see, he has on this camo tank top right there. He has one hand that's permanently shaped in that position to hold this big ass gun right there. You got all that going on right there. Here's his pants. Here are his boots. Here is his back, and you see the ammo rounds are coming out of this big thing right here. So this must be really, really heavy. The helmet, you see his face right there? It is optional. You get to see his little bitty peanut head right there. And yeah, he has little ears and all that. And this helmet stays on there snug. I guess because his weapon is so big, he is the only one that doesn't have a secondary weapon. I mean, they can all share and whatnot, but whatever. He does have this belt, which I assume can come off. Oh, it's attached right here in the front. I have never done that. I'll just show you this right there because I'm not taking it off. They all have a little freaking ball joint right there. So we can see that his skin is really green underneath the brown. The little ball joint only gives them about that much up and down range. Some of them can tilt better than the others. And they can rotate, of course. They all have the same outward motion. Some have ratchets, some don't. He has ratchets that are strong. Of course, it can rotate that way. The elbows on damn near all of them only bend less than 90 degrees, and they rotate. They all have wrist rotation, no hinge. They all have a diaphragm joint that works in various degrees. Gung Ho's doesn't really move too much. Maybe it's because of his vest that he has on. He can, of course, rotate. And there's no sideways action, which is disappointing. Legs can go out of there. Kick forward. Kick back. All of them have metal joints in there reminiscent of the original figures. And they have screws right here, probably to be like the original figures, because I know at this point in time, they had technology where they didn't need screws. Roadblock is the only one with single, well, no, he's not the only one, but he has a single bend with no swivel. The foot goes down, the foot goes up, and it rotates because they didn't think to give him ankle pivot. They went with this action. Ankle pivot wasn't popular back then. This is actually removable. You can put it back on there. You can't really, I mean, I guess you can swivel it around. Yeah, that is round. I didn't think it was round. It has like some stopping points, so it's not completely round. But yeah, And this can come out of there and get put back in. In fact, they're pointing in the wrong direction. Oh boy. I hope nobody noticed that until I just did. But anyway, all of them come with little stands with their name on it. Scarlet, for whatever reason, comes with two. Agent Scarlet and Scarlet. Let's move to Scarlet while I'm talking about her. She comes with her traditional bow. They put detail right there like she has a knife, but she doesn't. She has gun in the holster permanently. Here are her little bows for that. She got little throwing stars. I guess that's what this is. Come on, focus. You know, I've been seeing these for years. I never realized that they were throwing stars till just now. Yeah, I'm not sure if she ever took them off on a cartoon. But they don't really hold the weapons great at all. None of them have they have sculpting in some cases, but the finger isn't actually separate to go in the trigger. If it was, it would be better. She kind of wants to hunch forward all the time and not so much back. Her head doesn't really go up too much. Her neck is kind of hunched forward as well, but she can look down. But she has all the same articulation as Roadblock, but her swivel action happens right here, and her knee swivels right there. But yeah, all the same action. I kind of like her more than a lot of the other figures in this set, probably because she's female, and they tried to give these more of a humanoid proportions than the original G.I. Joe. This was beside her in the packaging, so I'm guessing she's supposed to have this little gun, which she can barely hold, and I'm not going to kill myself. Just know that this left hand probably holds it better, but yeah, they suck at holding things. This bow gun, this is actually a separate piece, and that will come loose all the frickin' time. So after you get it on there, don't touch it again and try to carefully place it in her hand. I was thinking maybe I need to cut the finger so she can have a trigger finger, but I'm probably never going to do that. They all have holes in the bottom of their feet in the center. Gung Ho! Here he is holding his gun that was in the package near him. He permanently has his hat on. As you can see on his chest with his tattoo, he was a former Marine before joining G.I. Joe. He has more head pivot than the other characters because they sculpted his head weird. But same thing with him where the elbows bend less than 90 degrees. He has a watch detail. Unpainted backpack that can come off. This vest is very stiff plastic. If you wanted to force it off, I guess you could. But here's some of that detail. He's ripped, as you can see. His chest doesn't come forward that much. It goes back a little bit, so that's unfortunate. You can rotate, and there's not really any pivot action. This leg does not want to go out that far. Let me zoom back out again. And the leg joints vary on a lot of them, but some of them have loose knees and loose hips. Mostly loose hips, which makes it very difficult for them to stand without their stands. He does have the gun holster right here, which is cool. And this weapon that he comes with, I don't know if you saw how he was holding it. I had him holding it like this. He can't really hold it in a traditional fashion. This moves, this little trigger sight moves, and yeah, this separates all the time very easily. I can't believe this made it past the child safety standards and whatnot, since it says ages 5 and up on the box. We're grown-ups, we don't care about that. Feet can go back that much and forward that much swivel. Let's do Duke. Duke comes with the helmet. Doesn't really look right on this daggone head. Is it the same as Roadblock's? Where is yours, Roadblock? Yeah, they're just a different shade. But here's what Duke is looking like in his face. if we can get it to focus on him. There you are. Some of the details, especially under these lights, colors don't match, and the Caucasian paint is fading off of there. It looks weird on his wrist since they decided to make the cut like right there on the middle of the forearm. I don't really like that too much, but he looks as detailed as he should from the cartoon. I'm pretty sure they can do better now because I've seen what they've done on them small Star Wars figures. They can make faces look better than this nowadays, but this was good for the time. He doesn't have any pivot and he can go back more than forward. Legs. He has a little gun in his holster right there. He is the worst with holding the gun. He has double jointed knees. I don't know if you probably saw it. I didn't bring it up on Gung Ho. And his boots, I really like the detail on the boots. He and Snake Eyes share the same boots, but the molding in the pants are different. But this rifle was next to him. He holds it poorly. I had the little rubber band that was holding it onto his hand on him forever, but that dry rotted. And he has some microscopic freaking binoculars. Like, holy crap. I don't even know how I'm gonna get this in focus at all. There we go. Yeah. Use your imagination. Last but not least is Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes has the most accessories and whatnot. Only thing would have made him cooler and would have made everybody cooler is if they had ankle pivot. And if he had ankle pivot. Double jointed elbows would have been nice and hands that can hold the weapons, but yeah, he suffers from the same thing. The arm barely goes 90 degrees. He has this sword. He has this little automatic handgun with the clip in the bottom of there that does not come out because this thing is tiny. But here's a sword. No sword holster, but you can slide it through this. He comes with this explosives bag right here that actually says explosives on there. You can lift that over his head and then get that off of him. He has this weapon harness, as you can see, with a little gun in here. That's what this is looking like. I'm going to put that back. And he has a little, well, not little, but he has a knife right there. It's rounded. It doesn't really come to a point. That sits in there nicely. Here is his butt pocket detail. And yeah, it just looks like he has on a tight shirt. The face looks like a biker or dirt bike mask situation with goggles. So nothing too special with that. And same double jointed knees, kind of loose on mine, and everything else works the way it works. End of the day, these are cool little nostalgic pieces to have on your shelf somewhere, but they are not too fun when it comes to posing. The best thing about them is they look way more cartoon accurate than the original figures. They have way more human proportions. They have some better articulation, like the knees. I think years later they did start having ankle pivot in some of them, and I think the elbows started being better in some of them, but this was the initial set, just like in the original 80s show figure set, or the 80s show releases, I mean. But anyone who bought these for kids, I feel sorry for y'all, because these things do not hold the weapons right, and if your kids are anything like mine or other kids, they would want help with certain stuff like that. And these things are infuriating when it came to that. Like I said, a lot of the other figures were better. This was basically the initial 5. So yeah, shouldn't be too hard on them, but they are frustrating if you are thinking about, I want you to know everything you need to know if you are thinking about going out and getting these. But anyhow, thank y'all for watching this video. I ordered the 6-inch Snake Eyes from Hasbro Pulse. Made it to Maryland on Friday night, and then FedEx said, nah, he need to wait till Monday. So y'all gonna have to wait for that. Next up, Amazon didn't do that to me, and they did get me Ironworks right here on Sunday. So yay me. Anywho, thank y'all for watching this. Until next time, T-Man 978 out of here. Yo, Joe, let me get Scarlet in there. Yeah. Bye. Click the videos. Click the videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those videos, baby. Click the videos. You really should click those videos. Click that shit.